1800 days ago, I quit alcohol and drugs and it's completely changed my life. When I turned 30, I wanted to break free of the destructive cycle, and honestly, I thought that I was just getting rid of the guilt, anxiety, frustration and shame. But here's what I never expected. That decision didn't just make me feel good mentally or look good physically. It gave me a kind of wealth that I never thought I would have. And I get it, you're probably thinking, how does quitting alcohol and drugs make you rich? Well, let me put this into perspective. The first thing that I noticed was energy, and energy in life is everything. More energy means that you can actually get stuff done, instead of wasting mornings hungover and just trying to drag yourself through the week. When you quit drinking alcohol, you instantly gain back hours. These are units that can be used for building something meaningful, learning new skills, or simply just getting in shape. Think about it this way. Think about how much of your life gets wasted if you just drink, for example, on a Friday night. Saturday morning, you're most probably laid up on the sofa, and then Sunday, you're about 60% of what your full potential is. When you look at it, it's 3 days. That's almost half of your week written off. For me, those extra hours actually stacked up. But hang on, I'm going to prove it to you. Let me just get my app up. So I'm going to put this on the screen. I have saved 1,800 hours and also £25,000 by quitting alcohol over the last 5 years. But it's not just giving me time and it's not just giving me money. It's basically helped me transform myself as a person. It's helped me move my life forward in a positive way. And as of that, I've started to build momentum. And when you get momentum, that is when everything compounds. Finances, fitness, physical health. Now, the second thing is clarity. When you're drinking, you're just like in this cloudy mindset and anything and everything happens to you, you're just reactive. And when you're reactive, let's be honest, it leads to poor decision making. And it only takes one bad decision to ruin your life. Trust me, I've been there and I'm not going to go deep into it, but I am going to tell you this story. Just a quick one, guys. I have made my 7-day sober video course free for a limited time only. I'll leave the link in the description. Check it out. I remember one time, it was coming up to Christmas, and anyone who's self-employed, who's got their own business, who has a trade or whatever, when it comes up to Christmas, work is quite hard to keep. And if you're not in a good financial position like I wasn't, working up until Christmas and being able to work after Christmas is a pretty big deal. So anyway, I'd gone out on a Sunday and I was starting a new job on Monday. I'd argued with my girlfriend on Sunday, didn't sleep, turned up to the job. I was living in Australia at the time and it was absolutely boiling. So I'm there working on site as an electrician, wearing a shirt. I'm just sweating bullets. All the alcohol's coming out of me. So the guy gives me a job and he's asking me basically to just fit light switches off. So to be fair, the light switches, the holes that were cut, they weren't done properly. So instead of me actually like taking the time to cut these holes out and fit the switches off, I was just moving on to other rooms and just forgetting about the ones that I couldn't do. At the time, I didn't think it was a big deal, but the bloke who I worked for did. He wasn't impressed, and the next day he didn't have me back. Long story short, I basically lost out on work that I needed. But this is where it gets interesting. It wasn't just the fact that I lost money. Turning up to a job and being sent home because you weren't good enough, and I wasn't good enough, made me believe over the course of my life that I couldn't do the job. I wasn't in a position where I thought I could ask for more money. And it basically just destroyed any self-belief in myself. But it wasn't the fact that I wasn't actually capable of doing the work. It was just because I was showing up with the wrong attitude. I wasn't fully focused. And as a result, I tricked myself into believing that I was never good enough. So you might see patterns of this in your own life. Can you see how substances cloud your judgment and make you feel that you're not good enough? Can you see how substances affect your whole life? Not just your health, but your career, your money, your relationships, but most importantly, how you see yourself. Since I've quit, my decision making has become a lot better. I can actually trust myself and I'm able to think long term, not just to going out on the weekend and getting my fix of cocaine or my pint of Guinness. Guinness? I don't even drink Guinness. I don't know why I said that, but you get the point. The third change was my circle. Have you ever heard the saying, your network is your net worth? Well, that, my friend, is true. I have had the chance to connect with people that I've actually watched on YouTube and admired and actually aspired to be like. And I've met some pretty great people along the way that have actually helped me along the way because they've seen how much I'm working on myself, how much I've changed, and the risks that I'm taking on myself. Got another story. There's a guy that I'm actually working with at the moment, and we've got him almost 3 months sober now. One of the main things that I use when I teach people to quit alcohol, which has helped me and will probably help you, is that you have to have a purpose. You have to have a North Star. So anyway, because he was drinking alcohol, he was basically putting off setting up this YouTube channel that he'd been telling himself for years he was going to do. But this is where it gets interesting. Because he's actually started that YouTube channel, he's actually got a friend who's got his own YouTube channel who's offered to do a collab with him. And that's a pretty big deal. Can you see that when you help yourself, others are willing to help you too? The next pillar is identity. Quitting alcohol wasn't just about removing a bad habit. It forced me to be able to see who I really was and what I really wanted. I went from someone who was just consuming things in life to someone who's actually creating something in life, something that's going to pay me dividends in the future and also help other people along the way. I've gone from chasing short-term pleasure, short-term gratification to actually building something for the future. I want to point this out to you. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you gain confidence, and confidence is what builds momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. When you're in it, doors open, opportunities open up, and that changes the whole trajectory of your life. So when I say quitting alcohol made me rich, I don't mean financially. I mean rich in time, rich in energy, rich in focus. Most importantly, rich in mindset. And here's the thing, most people think wealth comes from adding things to your life. But I've got news for you. It's actually about subtracting things that no longer serve you. For me, removing alcohol and drugs from my life gave me back everything that I was missing. The clarity, the focus, the freedom. And if you're stuck in that destructive cycle too, I know exactly what's holding you back. Because the reality is, nothing good happens past 11 p.m. No opportunity is waiting for you at the bottom of a glass. But the right opportunity could be waiting for you early hours tomorrow morning. But only if you're present, clear, and ready to see it. If you enjoy more videos like this, I've got a full video on how you can stop alcohol cravings in their tracks.